Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio with this week's official pricing. So we obviously did the Sunday preview for our coming Saturday pre-orders, but now we're going to go ahead through and take a look at the official USD pricing. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. Obviously we have Kill Team Nachmund coming this week, the new box set, and quite a few other items as well. Let's take a look at the pricing, kind of compare that to the past, and then also, kind of get an idea as to what we can expect going into the future and how close we were with the actual pricing we had kind of anticipated as well. So we obviously know that this is very, very similar to the Chalnath kit. The Chalnath kit was almost exactly the same as this kit. It came with the Chalnath book. This comes with the Nachmund book. Comes with your 2 transfer sheets. It comes with old set of terrain. The Chalnath set was the Sector Imperialis. This is the Sector Mechanicus. All of this stuff previously available, same as the Chalnath kit. And then of course comes with 2 kill teams as well. In the same way, Chalnath came with the new Novitiates kill team, and then an old kit, which was the Pathfinders with upgrade sprue. This comes with the new kill team, which is the Void Scarred Aeldari, and then of course also a Chaos Space Marine kit, and then also an upgrade sprue. So it is literally same exact, setup. Essentially, it's just the same exact thing, but they have just swapped out for new models, or I should say, it's the same plan or same base or same kind of like structure, but contains obviously different like races or different terrain. So right in line with exactly what we basically had with the Chalnath kit. So the Chalnath kit was $170. So obviously Games Workshop came out and said that they were going to be doing 5% price hikes on most things, and then some things like their paperwork and stuff like that, their books, etc., were going to get a 10% increase, and then a few items were going to be going up 20%, and then listed off like metal and old fine cast models, Blood Bowl teams, etc. I specifically came out and said that there was no way that they were raising prices 5%. It was literally not possible. There's no way it was going to average out to 5%. And that what I expected and what I had seen from the new releases coming out was that we could expect prices to be going up roughly 12%, which is exactly what we got. So here is the Chalnath Kill Team box set. So it comes with all this stuff listed here. The Nachmund Kill Team set comes with the Nachmund book, 2 transfer sheets. It comes with the terrain set, the game board, and then it comes with the Sector Mechanicus terrain, and then it comes with our Void Scarred team, as well as the Heretic Astartes Legionnaires team, and the price comes in at exactly 195 USD. So the previous set was 170. A 10% increase would be another $17 on top of that, which would take you up to 187. I speculated 190 to $200, but my guess was 195, which is exactly what it came in at. So we know obviously that is quite a price increase when they said it's going to be 5% in general, and then we obviously get like closer to 12%. So it is an additional, let me put it this way. A lot of people were complaining about the Chalnath set before it was released, about the price of that compared to the original octarius set. And the octarius set came with a bunch more stuff in it, including new terrain, 2 completely new kill teams, the dice, the cards, the rule book, and the set. But it also came out, almost, at this point in time, 6 months ago. So obviously a lot has changed since then, including the price hikes and a lot of world events and everything. So I did expect this to come out more expensive. I know a lot of people were upset about the Chalnath set, so I don't know how people are going to receive this one. I am definitely going to be picking this up, but it does seem a little bit crazy that it went from 170 to 195. But again, we just saw them release a box set at 200, and that basically told me that 200 was their new goal price point. So I think they put it at 195, so it sounds like it's coming in under 200. Like they're basically doing us a favor. So, so 170 to 195, an extra $25 on the price tag, an extra, basically 12+% for this set here. Now again, it is loaded. The Void Scar team is awesome. The upgrade sprue on top of the Heretic Astartes team is awesome. The kill team terrain that comes in this, the Sector Mechanica stuff, is very nice as well. And then obviously your board also. And then also we can go ahead and speculate into the future. If you're going to go ahead and wait the 3 months and then get individual components of this stuff, we already know basically what it's going to come in at, because we've seen how exactly they're structuring that on the previous sets. So we know basically what's going to happen is they're probably going to have the Void Guard come out 3 months from now when they release the new box set, and the Void Guard are going to come out at $60 for the box. We know the same thing with the Chaos. They're going to come out and it's probably going to be theoretically $55, but probably $60 for that box set with the upgrade sprue. We know that the actual killzone itself with all the terrain in here is going to probably come out at $112, because previously it came out at $100, and with the new price increases it's up to $112. So I would expect $112 for the terrain, including the board, and that's basically how they've been doing it. So we saw the dice now. We see 2 new sets of dice. The previous dice were $35 a set. We've seen a couple sets of dice come out since then, including the aeldari dice. So obviously we were expecting $38, which is exactly what they are. It's $38 for the Void Guard aeldari dice and $38 for the Heretic Astartes dice as well. And then for the Pathfinders and the Novitiates, they were obviously the previous sets of models that came out in the Chalnath set. And just the same way that we saw the orcs, the orc commandos, and then we saw also come out after that was the veteran guard, the Death Corps of Krieg models. We saw them initially come out in the box set, and then when they were released later on, the orc commandos were $60 for the set, and the Krieg veterans were $55. And then with the new price increases, the commandos didn't move, they stayed at $60, and then the Krieg models went up to $60 as well. So we see both those kill teams at $60, and now we have the pricing for these as well. So we never had a price before on Novitiates. Obviously, they were only available in the set, and they have come out at $60 for these 10 models. And then the Pathfinders previously were $38 for the box set, and then it went up to $42, which again, $38 plus $3.80, which is a 10% increase. Now, granted, they said we were going to get a 5% increase, so they over doubled the increase. But it went from 38 to another 380 on top of that would be 41.50, and then they or 41.80, and then they went ahead and rounded up to $42 obviously. So over 10% increase on them. So if you look at them at 42, then they have the new set coming out for the Pathfinders is 55. So they went from 42 to 55, so you're paying an extra $13 for the upgrade sprue. It is small, but it has a bunch of cool stuff on there. I like how much character it adds to the team, and obviously makes it a unique kill team. So if you were going to just try to save a couple bucks, of course you could just play with the regular Pathfinder set. But I really like the specialists and the extra little bits that come on here to make this team look extra cool. So to me, definitely worth it. But $55 and $60 for these. So again, assuming that they will do the same thing when these come out in 3 months, I would assume that the new kill team will be 60, and then this team will be 55, possibly again 60, just like we saw, with the Krieg and the orcs. So now the book here, so we have the Chalnath book is coming out. Again, this was included in the set for $170 initially, and now we see this coming out for $45, which is the same exact price that we saw with the Octarius book. So no surprises here. So if we assume into the future, if you're trying to figure out how good a deal this is, or if you want to wait and piece together your own stuff that you want, we can assume that the book's going to be $45 when the Octarius book comes out. We can assume, let's just say $60 and $55 for these. So that's $115 plus the $45 is $160. And then we know that the terrain set when it comes out is going to be $212. So that is $272. So right now you can get it for $195. If you wait and piece it together, it would be $272. So you basically are getting like $77 off by buying it all together at once. Or if you wait in 3 months, once it's no longer available, you're going to have to pay $77 to get the same stuff. So, value is obviously in the eye of the beholder. I like the set. I like the models. I have all the books so far and enjoy Kill Team. That's my main game, so I'm definitely going to be picking it up. So obviously, I don't really have to allude to this or anything. It's very clear after me talking about it. But this is the ruins, the terrain set that came in Chalnath. So this is the kill zone itself. It will include the board also, and then all this terrain right here. And we know the previous Octarius terrain when it came out with the board was $100. And then this is, with the price increases, it has gone up to $112. Again, an exactly 12% increase, which is exactly what I said. Expect 12%. And here it is, $112 for this as well. So to tell you the truth, a couple things did go up around 10%. Almost nothing on their entire site went up 5%. Almost everything went up 12%, 15%, 20%. Some things up as high as 30 and 40%. So, I pretty much nailed it. I wish I was wrong. I would have loved it if most things went up 5% and I was completely wrong. But the truth is, Games Workshop is very predictable. It's obvious what they're going to do. And they announced this a month ahead of time before the world got a little crazier. So I can only imagine now, if they hadn't just raised prices, what they would be raising prices to now. If they hadn't made that announcement and they waited 2 months and then now they were like, hey, we're going to raise prices, they probably would come out and say, hey, everything's going up like 25 to 40%, and they would jack the prices through the roof. So to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 1 or 2 price hikes before this year's over. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I imagine, the game will probably be terrible by then because no one will play anymore. Everyone will be pretty salty at that point in time, but who knows. So here's the White Dwarf. Obviously, we have the new White Dwarf coming out with the new Harlequins kill team, the Void Dancer rules inside. So definitely excited for them and for the new rules. Again, I will definitely be picking this up, and I will do a review and go through everything, kind of tell you what I think about this new kill team, how much better or worse it is than the current Harlequin kill team. Or Harlequins for all the people out there that cry about my pronunciation. But you know what? Here's the thing about Harlequin and Harlequins. Mannequin is spelled the same as Harlequin, but you don't say mannequins. You say mannequins. So in my opinion, it's all about how you want to pronounce it. It's all about where you live. This is an international community. So if you're the type of person that, corrects someone's pronunciation in the comments, you're the worst type of person. So, but anyway, moving on from there. So the actual White Dwarf itself will be $11 for this copy of White Dwarf. We know this is going to have it's going to have the rules for the Harlequins. It's going to have a bunch of cards as well for warcry and then also for Kill Team. And then we know there's some Nachmund stuff in there also for 40k, etc. So I will let you know how that is. I do like when they have cards for things available. For like spec ops and stuff like that, or for new things that they add into the game, because I really do prefer to have the cards. I don't like opening up the codex all the time. I don't like flipping through the codex all the time to reference stuff. So for me, it's worth a couple extra dollars to have the cards. I'm definitely one of those people that will pay a few bucks to have the cards for convenience. So here we have the Black Library stuff as well. So we have, I don't know if I have all the prices for this for some reason. Hallowed Ground and Dynasty of Monsters is all I got. So I did not get the official price for this limited edition Ahriman Eternal set, unfortunately. The Hallowed Ground set, though, the novel is going to be $27, and the Dynasty of Monsters is going to be $16. So this one is paperback. This one is hardback. So that is probably why there's an $11 gap between the price there. And then just guessing on this, I mean, this is a pretty nice looking set overall. Typically we see these come out between like $60 and $90. I would expect this to be like right around $100. So maybe even 90, maybe 110. Wouldn't be surprised either way. So that is the official pricing. I'm glad the White Dwarf didn't go up. It was 11 previously, so that's good. So we found something that didn't go up in prices. I honestly am not surprised about anything else. I mean, it was literally right in line with what I expected. I mean, we just looked at the new releases as they were coming out, assuming that they would already be priced at the new prices, and that's exactly what they were. So you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. Again, for the people arguing with me about the price increases, look, it is what it is. I get it. I'm not happy about them either. I'm not going to just stop buying Games Workshop. And also, I was right and you were wrong. So there you have it. But regardless, 112 for the Sector Imperialis terrain. I mean, honestly, if you buy a lot of the kits alone, you're paying over $60 for a kit of terrain anyway, and it's like half the size as this, maybe smaller. So I still don't think it's a terrible deal, especially if you can get like 15 or 20% off. As far as the Chalnath book, look, $45 for these books is definitely expensive. Kill Team is supposed to be, cheap and easy game to get into, but the truth is, there are like map configurations for like the terrain themselves and missions inside the Chalnath book, and then like obviously inside the Nachmund book there's going to be some stuff, and it basically shows you up how you can set these up in various places, various ways. You could do that your own. You don't need the book for that, obviously, or the missions that come in it. You don't need to play these missions. There are already a bunch of missions in the starter set book, like the core rule book, or in the octarius book, or whatever other books you have. So again, you don't need this. The only way you really need this book, now there may be some different rules in here. We may see like a punishing vantage point versus a regular vantage point. We may see some various rules that might have something to do with like the plasma. I think they had mentioned something about like the smoke stacks and smoke clouds, and then they had mentioned something about like the little pathways, like the tunnels underground. So we may see some rules like that. You can either get those rules separately online, or potentially just figure out what they are and just play them. There's you have these if you have any of the previous terrain or anything. You don't need the actual set to play with those rules, etc. But I like to have them again. The real only reason that you need to have this Nachmund book is if you're going to play one of these kill teams, because it does have all their data cards, all their spec ops, tac ops, etc. So if you're going to play with one of these kill teams, you definitely want to have the book. Otherwise, could go either way. And then it's the same way with the Chalnath book. If you're not going to play Pathfinders or Novitiates, if you're not a hardcore tournament player or like full-on kill team player, you really don't need this book. If you're going to get one of these kill teams, you obviously do though. So I love both these kill teams. I think they're fantastic. They both play very well. The actual set is really nice. I like it. You can still pick up copies of Chalnath online for like $150 to $160 cheaper than retail price. So I would imagine you'll be able to do the same thing with this. So I would expect that you'll probably be able to find the Nachmund set for, if it's coming out at $195, I would say you'll probably be able to find it for around like $165 plus tax. So you can probably get it for like $175 out the door with everything. So, obviously prices are going up. Prices are going up on a lot of stuff. So, but with these kill team boxes, I love the new kill teams. I love the terrain that comes in the set. I've always been a huge fan of the modularity and, the way that this terrain interacts. If you have any of the Sector Mechanicus stuff already, the like extra pathways and like some of the legs and everything, and you can really turn this from what is essentially like a 3D board right now, but there's no real like interaction on the second, or however you want to call this, like second level and then third level. But with just a couple of those other pieces, like some walkways and stuff like that, a couple pairs of like the legs and a couple ladders, you could easily like connect this power reactor, that power reactor, and the main centerpiece, and then all of a sudden you have like a second / like third floor, and it really takes this game board to the next level. So I really like them. I'm a big fan. The way everything is like spaced out on this also, if you have like the walkways, they're actually going to be like the same height as the top of this, or the same height as the top of this, so you can easily have them like use these pieces as a base essentially. And then for these like half pieces, because they're half the height of the regular stuff, there's not a great way to like interconnect these to the other ones, but if you have like a pair of legs or something like that up next to it, it's basically another 2.5 inches up, and it comes with a few ladder pieces, and you can basically cut a ladder in half, use the ladder at full size, or not use the ladder at all and just have guys climb up next to it. It's not that big of a deal, but it goes really well. I really like the Sector Mechanicus stuff. I'm not justifying all the price increases, but let's be real. I was not surprised at all. This is exactly what we were expecting. They told us a month ahead of time. So honestly, I'm not surprised. I am very excited for this set and looking forward to it. I will definitely be picking this up. I will definitely be picking the White Dwarf up, but passing on everything else in this week's pre-orders. I could understand too if you were an Ahriman fan or you're into like the Black Library, the books or whatever, picking up that set as well. I think that's a really nice put together set. It is very, very cool. Again, I don't know the price on that one, but it is pretty cool overall, honestly. And like the overall presentation on that is nice. And it even comes with a nice set of coasters. But overall, excited for this. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for it? We've seen some rules already for the Chaos. We've seen some rules already for the aeldari, Corsairs. And so far, they look really cool. I really like the Warp Spider generator on the Corsair. Like basically like little assassin right here. We have seen rules for like the hawk right here and the ability to identify models from far away. We know we have essentially like a ranger sniper right here. We know there's a couple options for heavy and special weapons as well. We've seen their little dash moves and everything. We've kind of like speculated that this will be something like a medic or something like that, have some like cool special ability. We know that this is probably going to be some form of farseer slash warlock and have some psychic powers. And then obviously we've seen for the marks of the Chaos team, there's 4 different marks available. Each one of those marks has a specific op that can be applied to it. So you get a bonus from giving them the mark, and then you have a special op that you can deploy to affect all of those guys with that same mark. And then we know that they have kind of brought back the Chaos rivalries. So if you take Nurgle, you can't have Tzeentch in your kill team. If you take Tzeentch, you can't have Nurgle in your kill team. If you take... Wait, I said that wrong. Slaanesh and Nurgle. Slaanesh and Nurgle can't be in the same kill team, and Khorne and Tzeentch can't be in the same kill team. So you could basically have a Khorne guy and a Slaanesh guy, Khorne guys and Nurgle guys, or you could have Tzeentch guys and Slaanesh guys, or Tzeentch guys and Nurgle guys, but you can never combine all 4 or the 2 rivals in the same kill team. We know that this bro with the big old axe is probably one of the highest or the highest damage dealing in a single blow model, with the ability to fight twice, do mortal wounds on the charge, automatically convert a regular hit into a critical hit. We know that this Reaper chain cannon is going to be amazing. I expect it to have at least like 5 shots and do some serious damage. We know that there is a Psyker. We know they have access to a plasma pistol and pretty cool looking sword, as well as other special and heavy weapons. Both these kill teams are going to be awesome. They're going to be very competitive. And then, of course, the new balanced status slate for kill team just came out as well. So we saw a small nerf, a few nerfs to the Pathfinders. And then we saw a couple of boosts. Necrons all of a sudden are going to be much better. We know all Marines are going to be better. I shouldn't say all Marines. We know that the majority of Marines are going to be better because now every Marine team can have 6 bodies. So we know for sure this is going to have 6 bodies available to it, same like the Chaos team. Now the Death Guard teams can have 6 bodies, as where before they could only have 5 Death Guard Marines. We know also that all your Primaris Marines get a 6th body now, including Grey Knights, and then also including Death Watch, which is pretty huge because those are probably the best Space Marine kill teams. And then on top of that, the Necron teams got free will be back every turn, 1 use, and then a little extra damage on the flayed ones. And then we know that the regular aeldari team got between basically like 2 extra models. So now they're looking at anywhere from, instead of 8 going to 10, 11 or 12 model kill teams. So we know that the aeldari kill teams are going to be pretty good as well. So quite a few boosts there, going to really change the meta around. And then with the new Harlequin team coming out, with the new Corsairs team coming out, and then of course with the new Heretic Astartes as well, we know that there is going to be some big changes coming to Kill Team. I'm looking forward to the new missions. I'm looking forward to, the new Kill Teams. And then obviously the White Dwarf for the bonus Harlequins as well. It's going to be awesome. Kill Team is super fun. If you haven't played Kill Team before, it is really, really fun. It's obviously got a much lower cost of entry to Warhammer 40,000. But the rule creep isn't nearly as bad. Obviously the bespoke teams are better than the core teams. But they're all still fun to play with, especially if you're not playing in like a super competitive setting. We know that only every 3 months they're coming out with like a new box set, and then each new box set has 2 new teams. There's a new White Dwarf team, and then of course there's a new book with some new like rules, missions, etc. So at worst, you're looking to spend somewhere around $200 every 3 months on the game, and you could literally have everything. So for me, that's pretty nice. Obviously, I play quite a bit of Warcry as well, and really enjoy that. I'm a huge fan of the skirmish games. Necromunda, Kill Team, and Warcry are my main games anymore. It's much easier to do. You can play your games in much less time. If you have a bad game or bad matchup or something, you can easily just run it back and play another game in a fraction of the time it takes to play a big 40k. You don't need nearly as many minis. There's almost no excuse for why your minis aren't painted, because you're only using 10 to 15 guys basically. You play Space Marines, you're only using 6 guys. No excuse to not be able to paint up 6 guys. So I love it. I highly encourage everybody else to play it as well. Let me know what you're excited about. Who's the team you're going to be playing? Which model are you most excited for? Do you think there's going to be a new king in Kill Team or queen? Who's going to be the best new Kill Team? Is it still going to be Vet Guard? Are we going to see one of the new teams take over? Are Space Marines going to start tranching on Death Guard or Vet Guard now? Are Death Guard going to be the strongest with all their extra, ability to ignore wounds and that extra body? Is that really going to make a difference? I'm curious. I really like Vet Guard. That is my main kill team. I really like the Commandos as well. My brother has the Pathfinders, and then we have a bunch of like Marines, Death Guard, and various other kill teams as well. So overall, found that most of the kill teams are fun. Some are a little stronger than others, but I think that this balanced status slate is going to really mix it up and kind of even the playing field. And then also, I think that these new kill teams and then the Harlequins are going to really change the game as well. And then looking forward to playing on the new map also. So if you like this type of content, reactions, reviews, opinion pieces, if you enjoy painting tutorials, modeling, conversion, lighting, magnetizing, any kind of tutorials as well, make sure that you like and subscribe. Do all kinds of content for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and of course Warcry as well. We'll do an unboxing. I will do some painting tutorials and magnetizing tutorials for the different options that come in this set, so that you can paint your guys similar or same style as I do mine, or magnetize the different options so that you can swap out and have all of them available to you as well. And then of course I will do actually maybe a painting tutorial on the terrain as well, because we do quite a few commissions on the Sector Mechanicus terrain, and it is very popular. So maybe I will show that off, and I'll show off exactly how you can mix in a couple extra walkways or a couple extra pieces to really take this set to the next level, because overall this is one of my favorite terrain sets. The Sector Mechanicus stuff is completely modular. It has like clips so that you can clip stuff together and then remove it, but it won't fall apart while you're playing. It's very nicely done. It's basically built like Legos, very similar to like how Legos are. I've also magnetized all of like the plasma conduits and various pieces as well, so that it doesn't just fall apart. You guys have probably seen that in some of my Necromunda videos, but that's it for today. Let me know down below. Appreciate all the positivity, all the encouragement for making these videos, and I will keep pumping them out because I know you guys love them. So that's it for today with this week's pre-order pricing. Unfortunately, it's exactly what we expected. Sort of a disappointment, but at the same time, we were fully prepared for it because it was right in line with what we expected. So Warhammer Man Studios, Warhammer Man, and I am out of here.